Happy Sunday, Laker Nation. Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Show, Lakers Live pregame show with the crew here. I got Manny, I got Medina. How's it going, guys? Also, happy Easter, everybody that celebrates it. How's it going?
Happy Easter.
Pretty good. Happy Easter.
So, it's a Sunday, which means we got Sunday whites, and that means it's a battle for LA. It's Lakers and the Clippers. We love it. It's great. I mean, it's a national TV game. It's on ABC today, and that tips off in 30 minutes from now. Mm-hmm. We can obviously, we got to get into the main story, which was, this isn't exactly how they pictured the game they could be going today. Obviously, completely different lineups today than we would have thought. No LeBron, no AD playing. And, against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So, the Lakers definitely have a work for them tonight. Everybody's got to step up. They played great against the Kings. They were great on the offensive end. They were great on the defensive end. I think we just have to get into it a little bit more with them to get them fired up. Maybe they saw us, maybe there's a chance they saw a little bit of us and they said, hey, we got to play better. And it started with Kuzma, and he was great. I'd like to see him keep it going. I mean, that was Medina's pick. I mean, she picked that, and she was 1 for 1 that night.
Oh yeah, shout out to Medina on that one. She called it spot on with Kuzma. He had 30 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was firing on all cylinders. He was our main bright spot the last game, along with KCP, who got 13 points and 10 rebounds. Markieff Morris has also hit a bunch of threes. He had 14 points, 8 rebounds. And then Montrezl Harrell, I know he didn't score much, but, my guy, Trez, I always got to show him love. He got 10 rebounds. As a short guy, he's not I wouldn't say short, but, he's not as tall as, other 4s and 5s in the league. And he was able to get there and get his boards and be physical on offense and defense. And another thing I said about the pregame last game was that we need to shut on De'Aaron Fox. Shout out to our defense. We really did. He shot 0 for 4 from 3. But obviously today is going to be a very, very hard one because we have the Clippers. They're at full strength. They have Paul George coming back. He's been out for quite a few games now. And we all know Paul George, Kawhi are not an easy matchup on defense and offense. So we're really going to have our guys tighten up because another thing you forgot to mention, Aaron, is that we don't have Drummond playing, and Wesley Matthews got injured last game. So defense and offense really needs to step up, and it's going to be a tough one. But if we really work hard and we DM up on offense and we actually play defense and we get our boards and we play very well, I think we can pull off an upset. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like if we just play great defense, if we were playing the way we did last game, I don't see why we couldn't win. Even though we don't have Drummond, we don't have AD and LeBron still. I still have full faith in this team, and they're going to pull through and come and beat the Clippers today. I mean, we're only one game behind them. We're only I think we're number 4 and they're number 3. So we just need this win today, and we're good. Also, don't forget, guys, Rondo is actually going to make his debut today. On the Clippers. I think this is his first game with them, so that's going to be really interesting to see as well. But I think we should be okay. I mean, we're going to need to be on Kawhi and Paul George. Those are the 2 that we're going to really have to watch out for, of course. But I mean, I feel like our guys, they've been stepping it up. They've been playing aggressively. They've been learning from their mistakes. I mean, last game they showed us what they're capable of doing, and today I feel like they'll do the same. And I have full faith that Kuzma's going to come through today again. He didn't let us down last game, so yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, and yeah, we could talk about this. I think for the Clippers perspective, I mean, let's look at the Clippers for a second. They have a great offensive shooting team. I mean, don't get me wrong. They lost a big piece in Lou Williams. People were pretty shocked that they actually traded him away. He was huge for them. Made some big shots, big time clutch player for them. But the Clippers needed a point guard. They didn't really have a point guard, someone who can move the ball around for them. Since Chris Paul left and that era ended for them. So, I think in the end, it helps out the ideas. It does help out the Clippers because they have a point guard, traditional point guard more. Because Rondo's as we know, like Rondo doesn't really shoot a lot. I mean, he'll take the ball when he needs to, but he's more about getting the guys involved. I feel like that's where the Clippers have had their problems at all this year when it comes to their ball movement, trying to get their possessions around. They get sticky ball at the time too, where they're trying to figure out who do we want to go to? Kawhi, Paul George? Do we want to go with Zubac and just give him the ball? I mean, obviously they have Serge Ibaka as well. So, the Clippers added a piece that they needed to do, but they also had to sacrifice shooting. So do you think this is going to hurt them a little bit on the offensive end, or you think they're still going to be as good as they were?
Offensively, it will hurt them because Lou Williams was big for them off the bench. And we remember Lou Williams very well as well because he used to be on the Lakers. A few games off the bench, he would drop like 20, 30, even 40 points on when we had him in our rebuilding years. But he's a very good player. I know he's not exactly as young as he used to be, but he's still a guy who could get you buckets off the bench. And he's a 3-time Sixth Man of the Year award winner. So it's a big loss for the Clippers. But I agree with 100% what you said about Aaron, about Rajon Rondo, because I brought this up to Clipper Darryl, that the problem with the Clippers is that they need that point guard to basically ease off a bit of Kawhi and Paul George. And Rajon Rondo is exactly what they need because not only is he crafty and he makes good passes and everything, but defensively he's an absolute mastermind on defense. He's able to orchestrate the game very well, and he's just a smart basketball player in general. We know he's not exactly the same player as he used to be. I remember on the Celtics he was one of the best point guards in the league at some point, but now obviously he's in the back end of his career. But he's still someone who could get you buckets. He's still someone that could do really well. We remember him in the playoffs. He was our third best player in the playoffs, Rajon Rondo, playoff Rondo, and that's one thing that's going to be big for them. But the shooting wise, that's what's going to hurt the Clippers. But defensively, I think they got better.
Yeah, I agree with Manny there. I feel like Rondo just gets the whole team involved, and the Clippers, they're a good team. As much as like I'm a Lakers fan, I have to admit that they have some really great players, and
Absolutely.
We're definitely gonna have to watch out for those two big guys today. But the one thing I feel like Clippers lack is their team chemistry. I feel like they don't really know how to play together as a team. They play more independently. Personally, in my opinion, I feel that way. And I feel like Rondo coming into this team now, it's going to get everyone involved to, like up that chemistry and just play better together. And just, he, like Manny said, he orchestrates everything. Like we saw what he was capable of doing in the playoffs. I mean, without him, we would never have won that championship last year. He was our third guy, and I'm sad that he went to the Clippers. But you know what? I hope he does great today. That's probably a missing piece the Clippers needed, to actually advance into like the finals this year. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, I think it was a great piece for them to add, honestly. On and off, yes, they lost the offensive, they lost Lou, but also, as Vince also mentioned, they got Boogie Cousins. I was kind of surprised because, the way he likes to play inside a lot. I don't know why. I mean, why they consider getting him. I mean, they have Ibaka already and they have Zubac, so they already have their centers coverage. I don't know if they want. I'm thinking that the Clippers want to have him play more of a 4, like a Davis spot, where he could shoot outside of the perimeter or mid-range shooting. But I mean, again, they're trying to do what they can. They want to make a big run. We know that it's a potential Western Conference Finals matchup. I mean, don't get me wrong though, it's not for sure. Because as we know in the NBA, nothing's for sure. You have to get there. You have to win. You have to win the first 2 before you can get to the conference final. So, it's a grind, and I definitely will feel like the Clippers are going to be a little bit of a bigger threat now because they have what they needed. They had the missing pieces that they filled. Let's get into the Lakers here. So obviously they've been playing great. Kuzma's been playing great. No Drummond, as Manny mentioned, as well, and no Wesley Matthews. I feel like I'm just it was a fluke injury for Drummond. And hopefully they said this is the last game he has to miss. So the Lakers are gonna need him, and they're gonna need Wesley Snipes on their road trip, because this begins essentially their road trip that they're gonna be on. They need all hands on deck for the rest of this road series.
Yeah, absolutely. We go on a 7-game road trip. It's gonna be a hard one, but I don't think the first game is gonna be that hard because the Raptors haven't been exactly that good. But yeah, technically our road trip starts now, even though we're playing at the Staples Center. It's technically a Clipper home game. But I agree 100% what you said, Aaron, about the fact that the Clippers, it's more of a threat now because, yes, you could say, like, I don't understand the Boogie move. I too don't understand it much because they have guys like Ibaka and they have Zubats, but the thing is Ibaka gives them more depth now. The same thing with what us Lakers did because we have Marc Gasol, we have Montrezl Harrell, but we don't have like that guy that's basically like there to rim protect. And Drummond is a guy that's there to protect and get you boards. And Boogie's been like that. He's actually had a very good season this year with the Rockets. And honestly, like another thing I got to bring up, we've been playing very good. Like even though we've had LeBron and AD out for a good almost a month now, AD is possibly 2 months now. We actually won 3 out of our last 4. Yes, I know it wasn't exactly against good competition, but it's a good confidence booster because it shows that we're able to finish off games. We're able to play very well without our main guys because the media constantly wants to say the Lakers, they only have it's only LeBron and AD their team. We have a very deep team as well. We saw what happened against the Kings 3 nights ago with Kuzma stepping up. We had Harrell stepping up. We had KCP stepping up. Medina actually called out KCP the last time and it paid off because KCP actually showed up. He played very, very well. He shot his threes. He made his threes. Dennis Schroeder was good at his D'ing up. But another thing I want to bring up about Dennis Schroeder, because then again I don't have Instagram, but I saw on Twitter that apparently someone wrote sign the F *** extension, and then he's saying he's going to assess it in the offseason, which is good because in my opinion Dennis Schroeder. He doesn't have much to prove. He's been a very good player this year. He's been good on defense. He's been a little inconsistent on offense some games, but other games he's been showing up. So I agree with Schroeder. Assess it in the offseason. Say what you want to do. If he wants to stay, he can stay. If he doesn't want to stay, we wish him the best.
Yeah, I hope he stays. I feel like he's been a good part of our team. But back to what you were saying before, Manny, people the media wants to always say hey, this team is built off of LeBron and AD. But we saw the other night what our guys are capable of. If we just, play more like that, consistently, and we see what works for us. If we see that our 3-point shooting, we're hot with it, we keep going with it. If we see that we're going cold with it, we drive the ball in, we take the end ones. We need to keep doing that and not just get lazy and sleepy. And just because we had one good game, we can't just slack off in this game, because I feel like the Lakers have this pattern of, hey, we have one good game, I think the next game will be okay. Or, hey, we did terrible this game, we got to step it up next game. So I just hope how they played against the Kings last game, they bring that same energy to the Clipper game today, because that's what I want to see. And when our bench players play to their full potential, we're still a dangerous team. Even without LeBron and AD, we're a bad star team. Sorry. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. I think we have an excellent team formed. Even without LeBron and AD, we've been showing up and we've been playing really well, and we just need to keep that energy going. So, and we can definitely get that W today.
Yeah, obviously, it's a good challenge, and obviously, if the Lakers win tonight, they tie the Clippers at the record, same record that they'll have. But let's talk about Marc Gasol, because obviously, there's been a lot of noise, a lot of noise of what's going on, and he's been very vocal. He was very vocal about how he felt about how the Lakers basically told him his minutes are going to drop. And I kind of agree with what I've been reading. I've been kind of seeing it around social media that says, hey, he's frustrated because he says, it's basketball, and I gotta do what I can. but blah blah blah. He's basically saying, I don't agree with it. I think it's wrong that I start. But in the same time, if they're doing this to Marc Gasol, that should kind of fuel the fire, right? Like, if you're not happy about losing your starting spot, then do better. Do better.
Exactly.
Do better. Prove to everybody that you can have a great game and be a starter by putting up the numbers that we want you to put up. The reason why we had to get Drummond is because we needed rebounds, we needed points in the paint, and we needed blocks, and we weren't getting that. We didn't need offensive ball movement, and don't get me wrong, that's what Vogel's been preaching him to do. But and just like Matthew said here as well, he's not the Gasol that he was in Memphis. I mean, are you kidding me? If we had the same guy that we had in Memphis, probably we would have never even gotten Drummond. We would have never had him, never needed him in the first place. But, definitely, I feel like he's handling it well, though. I feel like, that's all you can do. It's an NBA. It's a job, and you got to understand that the things that have been happening for him is because of how his lack of performance is. And I support it. I support how he feels, because you gotta earn it. You can't be not trying here. You got to try when you're with the Lakers organization.
The problem is with Gasol, he's got to stop playing consistent. I understand he's upset, and it's reasonable he's upset, because he's going to have a minutes drop off, because now Drummond's going to come back healthy. We're going to have Montrezl Harrell playing the backup center and power forward positions there now. But the thing is, I like what you said, Aaron. I 100% agree with you 100% what you said about play better, because I'm going to put up Marc Gasol's stats actually a little bit right here. Yes, he had 9 rebounds the last game, but he's a big man, center, 6'11", was almost 7 feet. Listen to the past 4 games for rebounds that he pulled: 3 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 2 rebounds, and 2 rebounds. I'm sorry, but if you're a big man, you should not be getting that many rebounds. That's horrible. You should be at least be getting like. I understand players can't always get like double-digit rebounds a night, but the fact that you can't even get at least like 7 or 8 rebounds and you're that height, it's an embarrassment. Like Gasol, I feel bad for you that your minutes are going to get cut off, but it's 100% reasonable, because you have not been that good this year. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like a hater, but you haven't been yourself this year. Like I understand you're not exactly the young Gasol on Memphis, like Matthew said, but on the Raptors for the past 2 years, Gasol was actually a respectable player and a respectable rebounder. And yeah, I agree, Matthew. Like maybe not 20 rebounds a game, but like you should at least be trying to get like double-digit rebounds, because you have a big size over certain guys that you're defending and scoring on. So I just think like he shouldn't be that sour about it, Gasol. But at the same time, I kind of do feel bad that he's getting his minutes off, because as an NBA player, it's sad to hear that, because what's going to happen next? Is he going to get cut? Like it happens. It's a process.
Yeah, when we first signed Gasol, I remember all Laker fans were super excited to have him on our team. We had full faith in him to play to his best potential. I mean, he's not going to have a great game every game. We know this. He's not the player that he was when he was like on the Raptors or the Grizzlies. We know that, but we still thought he would contribute something to his team, and he does. We saw that when he missed a few games. We saw that we were missing that protection that we needed, but he, like you said, like we need double-digit rebounds from him. Maybe not 20, but realistically speaking, like 10 to 15. If you're not going to score, you better rebound. You better do something right, because we didn't pick you up just to stand there and pass the ball. Because sometimes I get so frustrated when I watch Gasol. I just see him get the ball and he passes it. He doesn't do anything else with it. And Aaron and I have had faith in him to step it up and pull through and show us what he's made of and shut all these haters up. But I haven't really seen that yet. I mean, I know he's been playing okay, but he hasn't been playing his best. And you know what, Aaron? I hope you're right. I hope this makes him a little more, like, not angry, but feels the fire in him that he needs to step it up. He needs to show what he's made of. He needs to maybe not earn those minutes back, but show like, hey, this is what you guys missed out on, and this is how I can play. I just hope it doesn't do the opposite and makes them play even worse. So I hope like that doesn't happen either, because I feel like when the Lakers, like for example, like when all the trade rumors were going on, I feel like KCP like just had a horrible game the day before that trade deadline, and I feel like it's because all those rumors got to him and he wasn't playing to his full potential. And we know what KCP can do on the court. We know how excellent he plays. We know he can shoot those 3-pointers that we need. But I feel like whenever the Lakers hear something that they don't like hearing, they just don't really go out and play their hearts out. They just kind of slack off and they feel like they can get away with it. But I don't know. I hope Aaron's right. I hope that Gasol, he realizes what's going on and he's just like, hey, I need to play better. I need to do better for this team.
Yeah. Let's look at his matchup. I mean, obviously he's going to go against Zubac. He's been great. Ivica Zubac. Since the Lakers got rid of it, when the Lakers traded him away, shocked everybody when that happened, but I get it. They weren't going anywhere. So let's put him somewhere where he can get better. He's been great. I give him a lot of credit, how he's been playing. His points are up, his rebounds. He's just turned into a true big guy. And, I've been seeing him play. And obviously, like we were saying, obviously Gasol and Matthew's been saying as well is, Gasol's going to have a challenge. Cause I mean, look, think of it this way is he has if he could beat Zubac, just now imagine if Ibaka was playing, and Serge Ibaka is out tonight along with Patrick Beverley for them. But if Gasol comes out there, proves himself today, obviously Zubac is not an easy person to try and get around. He's very crafty with his shots. I believe he has a little bit of a mid-range too as well. But I mean, I expect it to be a good game, especially inside.
Absolutely. I think it's when I was like critiquing Gasol before, like it was more like on the rebounding end that he hasn't been aggressive there, but defensively and passing wise, he hasn't been too bad. And the fact that he's like he's been covering the paint a little bit better is something I'm actually very happy to see, because he actually played very good defense last game. It's just the games before that I wasn't exactly a big fan, but I guess we'll see. The Clippers are a different team than the Kings. Like obviously, like our other guys are gonna have to like really like show out against Kawhi and Paul George. But the big matchup tonight is actually, I don't think it's gonna be Gasol and Zubac. I think it's really going to be Gasol and Ibaka, because I feel like those are the two guys, those are the two big centers that the Lakers had to, well, I mean, we didn't sign Gasol, we traded for him in the offseason, but like the Clippers signed Ibaka and we traded for Gasol in the offseason. So like those are two big men that are actually going to really like going to be matched up together, like and you already know they're going to be going off getting boards and dunking the ball, driving in the lane, getting in the paint. Like it's going to be a big game for both of those, and they're also both former Raptors. They both played on the same team 2 years ago, so they're very familiar with each other. So it's going to be a very like exciting game between them, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. Overall, I think this is going to just be an exciting game to watch. I mean, it would be great if we did win against them today without our 3 main players. Mm-hmm. But I have faith in this team. They've shown us what they're capable of doing, and yeah, just play your best tonight, and I don't see why we wouldn't be able to win.
So, the Clippers have 2 superstars, Kawhi and Paul George. Matchup wise, obviously, I mean, we love Caruso's defense. We could talk about Caruso, but who, in the end, we have to look at, who's the best fit to guard Kawhi, because I mean, obviously, we can all touch on this as, how great Kawhi is and how crafty he is, along with Paul George. I mean, he's very crafty with his shots. He's hit big shots and big moments before. Who do you anticipate of guarding who? Who do you think is a good matchup for him, and how do you stop those two?
Well, personally, I think Kawhi, it's actually it's a little bit to think about, but I think I would have Keith on him just because I don't because Keith isn't exactly small. He's kind of like a tall guy, so and he's very physical, and also his defense came in handy last year in the playoffs, and his defense hasn't been that bad this year either. So on Kawhi, I think I would have Markieff Morris on him, and as for Paul George. KCP is a good 3-and-D guy. I think I would have KCP on Paul George. I think the defensively that would go good because as much as I love Caruso, I don't think he's exactly good enough to guard those guys because he's not exactly as tall as a Paul George and a Kawhi Leonard. But then you could say like Manny, look, neither is KCP. He's not exactly as tall as Paul George, but defensively, he's a little better than Caruso, and that's kind of why. Let's just say if Paul George makes a bunch of threes because we know in the regular season, not playoffs, guys, but regular season, Paul George can actually make his shots. So that's the thing that we need to do. We have to have like a guy like KCP, who's 3-and-D. He actually goes in the 3-point line, puts his hand up, and just D's him up. That's what we need from them. So I think Keith should be on Kawhi, KCP should be on Paul George, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure about who should be on Kawhi, but Paul George, I mean, I agree with you, Manny. I think KCP would be a good matchup against him. Well, the best one that we can have till our other players come back. But I don't know. I kind of have faith in Caruso. I feel like he could be a good guard against him. I mean, Caruso gets all up in your face, and he's not afraid to take, any charges. He's not afraid to get those fouls. He's very aggressive, and I feel like we're going to need that in order to stop his shots. But that's my personal opinion. As for Kawhi, I'm honestly not 100% sure of who would be the best person to guard him. I mean, I would even want to say maybe Schroeder. I don't know, maybe Schroeder. I feel like he's very quick, and I feel like I think Markieff would do a great job too when he's in. But I feel like Schroeder would also be a good target on him as well. That's just my opinion.
All right, let's go to the keys of the game. Manny, what you got for us today?
Today I got. I think today our keys to the game should be defend the 3 because from what I said before, it's like I said, it's not playoff time, it's regular season time. Paul George in the regular season could actually make his shots. So like I said before, we have to have guys on Paul George at all costs. And another thing we need to look at also is defending the paint as well because they have guys that are very physical and very tall, and they can really get in the paint and just dunk and just drive to the lane. Like guys like Serge Ibaka and Ivica Zubac. Like those guys can definitely drive to the lane and dunk. So guarding the paint and guarding the 3-point, basically guarding in general, I would say is our key to the game tonight because that's just how the Clippers roll. They're good at shooting their threes and getting inside. So we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I agree, Manny. Not just defensively, yes, guard the 3, guard the paint, but also from us offensively, I think we need to not show up and act like we're a good 3-point shooting team. Yes. But I think we need to drive the ball in today. I think that's like our main goal. That should be our main goal today is just drive it in. Don't try and go off against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and be like, hey, I can be a better 3-point shooter than you, and just keep shooting threes and missing them. I mean, if we're hot with them, go for it. But if we're not, just drive the ball in. That's my keys to the game today.
My keys to the game is come out with an aggressive determination. Come out there, shoot the ball. Not only just shoot the ball, obviously, but come out there on the offensive end, defensive end, but just start off being aggressive. Like go after them in the paint, go after them, try and shoot your 3, see how they're falling. But if 3-point shots are not going, then you just got to go with the other shots, which is inside. I mean, you can never go wrong there. So, let's go into players to watch. So, who you guys got tonight?
Are you ready for this, you guys? Tonight I'm gonna go with a different guy. Tonight I'm gonna go with THT. I liked what I saw from him in the past few games, and not to mention that he's only 20 years old, and that we kept him off a potential Kyle Lowry trade. So he's a very good part of our team. He's a young guy. He's able to drive to the lane. He's able to score. The one problem is his 3-point shooting hasn't been the best this year, but I think he can get tonight. I'm going to go with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and are you ready for this one, you guys? I think I'm going to have him going 38 to 39% from 3 tonight.
All right.
You know what? I want to have faith in my boy Kuz again. I'm going to go with him again tonight. I feel like he played an excellent game, and I feel like he's going to have that same energy going for him tonight. And I'm going to believe in the blonde hair and hope that it works out in our favor. And I think he's also going to have another great game. I want to say at least 7 rebounds, maybe 25 points from Kuzma. That's my guess for him.
I gotta go. Medina. Obviously we've been talking about it. I'm gonna give him one more shot for my player to watch, and that's Marc Gasol. You wanna shut people up, and you're tired of what you hear. Just like I was saying, you're tired of what you hear. You go make your point, make yourself noticeable, make ESPN, make Mike Breen and Van Gundy all talk about you, because they're saying, whoa, like this guy is actually shooting lights out. And then all of a sudden the next topic the next day is how great Marc Gasol was and how great he feels, and how kind of played with the pissed off like passion to say, you know what, let me show you what I got. So that's going to do it for us for Lakers Live pregame show presented by the Ultimate Sports Show. Tune in. Postgame show starts at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 p.m. on the East Coast. For Manny, Medina, and myself, I'm Aaron. We'll catch you guys after the game. Enjoy the game, guys.
Peace.